12-year-old Aryan lived in a small village where people believed in playing it safe. Don't take risks, they would say. Stay where you belong. Aryan, however, had a different dream. He wanted to be a pilot and fly above the clouds. But there was one problem. Aryan was terrified of heights. Whenever he climbed a tree or stood on the village bridge, his legs would shake and his heart would pound. Maybe I'm just not meant to fly, he thought. One day, a traveling airshow arrived in the nearby town. Aryan's heart raced with excitement. He begged his father, and after much hesitation, his parents agreed to take him. At the airshow, massive planes roared through the sky, spinning and twirling like birds. Aryan's eyes sparkled. I want to do that one day, he whispered. But then, the announcer said something that froze him in place. We need a young volunteer for a flight simulation. Any brave kids out there? Aryan's hands stayed glued to his sides. A few kids raised their hands, but none were chosen. Then, the pilot's eyes landed on him. You, in the red shirt, want to give it a try? Aryan's heart pounded. His parents looked at him expectantly. The crowd turned to see his reaction. Fear crept in. His legs wanted to run, but something inside whispered, if you say no now, will you ever have the courage to fly? Taking a deep breath, Aryan nodded. The pilot took Aryan inside a real cockpit simulator. This won't fly, but it will feel like it, he explained. Aryan gulped. The simulation began. The screen in front of him showed the plane lifting off. The chair vibrated as if he were really flying. His hands gripped the controls tightly. At first, he was scared. The screen showed them rising higher and higher. His palms were sweaty. He wanted to shut his eyes. But then the pilot's voice echoed. Breathe. Don't fight the fear. Face it. Aryan inhaled deeply. He looked at the screen again. Slowly, he let go of his fear. For the first time, he felt what it was like to fly. After the simulation, Aryan stepped out, shaking. His father placed a hand on his shoulder. You did it, son. That night, as he lay in bed, Aryan realized something. Courage isn't about not being scared. It's about moving forward despite the fear. From that day on, he practiced little steps, climbing higher trees, standing at the tallest point in the village, reading books about flying. Each step made him braver. Years later, Aryan stood at an airport runway, wearing a pilot's uniform. His first flight as a real pilot was about to begin. As the plane lifted off, he looked at the sky and smiled. The same sky he once feared was now his home, and all it took was one moment of courage. Lesson: courage isn't about being fearless. It's about taking action despite fear. Small, brave choices lead to bigger ones, and one day, they can change your entire life.